Hello, sorry for coughing again. Welcome to the Corner Bird studio stream. Today I'll do something quite different because I'm making very last minute birthday cards for my nephew and niece. So yesterday I was doing the Gundam for my nephew, and if you're new to my channel, I usually sculpt like more detailed stuff like this. I guess like I haven't shown this one in a really long time. It brings me back a lot of memories. Like last time I didn't do a lot of painting, and like I was really scared of doing colors and stuff. Like now that I look back at this, like I used to think that this was so colorful. Let me just brighten this a bit. So normally my sculpts are like this, and I was thinking it might be interesting to live stream my process for simple stylized sculpts. Let me see. But first, let me stop charging this. I always like to share a lesson for each stream, and today's lesson will be about making this. I feel like something's wrong. Wait, what? That was more reflective. Give me a minute. I just realized that the material is wrong. Was it like this? Because it was supposed to look like this. What happened to it? Let me see. Roughness, metalness. Okay. Let's see what happened to this. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's... Not sure if that's exactly the same, but it looks more correct. Yes, I think by default too it's set to additive. Was it? Or was this not really working out for me? As you can tell, I never prepare for my streams. Give me a moment. Haven't really touched these things, the different material types, so it's too bright. So it's all like quite new to me too. But I guess that's what makes the the streams fun too, because we're figuring things out together. Yeah, I guess this would be more in line with what I want, and because I've already adjusted this one, I'm going to clone it and move it back a bit, and then set this to like an opaque substance, because without this one, let's delete the old one. Without this, it's a transparent material, so it can look through, which can be kind of cool, but I feel like it makes it look really messy, and like the back area of the sculpt is not really that great either. So having the opaque layer behind with the same color will help to kind of like create a bit of depth to this transparent material that can be really reflective if you want to. I mean, can be really bright if you want to. Like that, so that it shines. This is before and this is after. So I'll do the same for this one, and I just kind of show you how I do it fast. Let me see. Like I can just grab something too. I'll just grab this one. Oh, today's a weekend, so I'm just going to keep it quite chill. Oh my god, I keep coughing. Make it chill. Because I know that this material is quite flat. Like this. So I'm not really caring about the details. I just want something that's flat, and that's what I'm getting from this. So I'm just roughly placing it like this, and then the non-dynamic topology. Dynamic topology is quite low poly right now. Oh, and also make sure that it's symmetrical, because there's just something inside. And then grab this material, paint this material, push the top in so that it curves at the same angle as this material. You can see why I'm not really that worried about all the details, because if you sculpt with dynamic topology and set this to a really low percentage, you can see like all the details that was on the original sculpt is destroyed. So that's usually how I kind of like grab things. And let me just make sure that this one is correct. Why is it so weird? Are you not in the center? It just doesn't really matter. And then this is the time when you start correcting the minor problems. Because this is just a quick demonstration, so I'll do the really like minor detailing. So I did this off stream weather and it's so dark. I feel like it's so hard to regulate the lighting. I was doing some slow and chill detailing on the eyes while having lunch. No, I don't intend to. And then I was carving this M because my nephew's name starts with M. This is one of the ways that I personalize the sculpts for the person that I'm giving this to. Here I have like a really long history of making birthday cards for people, like my family. But I've only started doing 3D cards very recently because I only just gotten like quite proficient in sculpting really recently. So let me bring this out. The inside mesh doesn't really matter as long as the ones visible are good. So if I'm going to go in and clean up, I'll just make sure that the edges are sharp like this, but it's going to take a long time, and I'll want to do the Hello Kitty one a bit first, like do a first pass of this. And I already done the first pass of this sculpt yesterday in yesterday night stream. So that looks quite alright, and then I will do the same thing. Maybe let's just like move this out a bit more. And I guess I can just like cut off these because it's not really needed. Like this. I think the curve is not there yet. There's something like this, make sure that smooth it out like that. I'll need to fix like the overall curve of everything eventually. Give me a moment while I adjust the brightness again. And then I'll set this to additive like this and see. Yeah, I guess I do need the back plane. So I'll set one to additive and then duplicate the other one. Push it in a bit and make this opaque like that. I guess since they're quite like, maybe it looks better like a bit more outward. Maybe like that looks nice. And then fix any intersections. And now there is a glowing M over here, which I will need to adjust the font. I think the font is not really that correct yet. I feel like I can just spend forever doing this. Cool. So that's how I do these glowing red stuff. It's quite simple and like quite fun too. Because when you go to the what's that? The lit PBR board, you can also set the material to be like super bright by increasing the opacity beyond 100%, like that. And now it's giving, kind of like faking giving off emission emissive light. Because if you use blender, it's kind of like putting the emissive pass onto a material so that they glow. And then to kind of like just go even further than this, would be to go and paint a little bit. I'm just painting a little bit of red on the white areas. Maybe pink. Just to blend the two pieces together. So I'll do the same thing with this one. It just helps to integrate the pieces together and make it look like they're reflective. Eventually I'm going to start painting like this, where it looks more reflective. I think that's what's missing. Like maybe I can even eyedrop this, or maybe just do this, and then let's see, maybe go even whiter. I can do that to fake reflections and stuff. Just have to be careful with dealing with like really white and black colors, that you have to go at it with a lot of opacity, or else they'll just appear gray and very desaturated. I'm not sure whether I want this actually, but I'll just keep this one, just showing how I normally paint with these kind of things. So I just keep this to remind myself that I want to do something like this later on. It looks kind of weird right now, but if you apply it to all the different parts, then it'll look more like it makes sense. Then maybe I can even use this color to just saturate this shadow a little bit and sharpen it a bit. Maybe do this. At like where it bends, so it kind of creates like this. I know that I'm supposed to do Hello Kitty, but actually it's more fun than I thought to do these. So something like that, I'm going to just keep it like this for seriously, I didn't save it. Okay. Which one are you? I don't remember which reference I was on this one. back to Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty. So I've already made this for Hello Sculptor. Welcome back to the channel. Yes, Gundam Barbatos. I asked my boyfriend like which Gundam is quite iconic because I don't really know what the kids would want. And then when he mentioned that one, I was like, oh, it looks pretty fun to sculpt, especially like the shape of the shoulders, like this. Like it looks quite cool. I think I need to round this a bit more on the side view. Like it looks a bit too like straight down. I don't think that that's the correct shape. But yeah, I was like, oh, it looks quite nice and fun to like study how to do the shapes and stuff. Like I really like how this part turned out. This part's really nice. Yeah, I learned quite a lot of this. I mean, still have ways to go, but the first pass was done yesterday and I'm quite happy with it. And it's a weekend, so I'm just gonna chill out with this simpler sculpt. Anyway, I have this old birthday card for another nephew, and I'm going to reuse this for my niece because it's always like good to save time. It's always good to save time with whatever we have. I'm thinking of doing a base plate. So she likes to do ballet, and that is the reason why and she likes Hello Kitty, and that's the reason why I'm doing Hello Kitty and ballet. So I'm going to do a base. Maybe I can make use of the square base to, I don't know, like build up a stage. Maybe that might be nice. I'm not really sure. Like what if I do this? Why can't I rotate you? Why not rotating? Yeah, not really sure why it's not rotating. Never mind. I'll just do it the manual way. So something like this. Yeah, I'm not sure. it's still it's still up for changes. I guess that's also the fun of doing your own sculpt. Oh my god, the sun's so intense. You can see the sun. That's the good thing about doing your own sculpts. You can kind of create your own things. I think this one, I don't need them. This one, I only need the text. So I want this text. I don't want this anymore. I'll keep one of this. I'll just reuse this because they're quite cute. So I'm going to put them back like this. Let's hide this one. I'm going to bring this guy back. I'm going to reuse the, it's so bright. I'm going to, oh my god, so bright. Reuse the eyes and the nose because it looks quite similar. Actually, I want to reference this one a bit. Then I don't need this one. I don't need this one. I guess I'll just paint this the yellow and blue tones a bit. Just so that's less distracting. And then this one will be white color. Just hide this a bit. So if you want to sculpt simple stuff, it's very easy to just start with a sphere like this and then validate it and use the symmetry planes and then start sculpting the shape. But because I already have this one, then I'm just going to make use of this. It's gonna look weird for a while. And then same thing of dynamic topology, but with very low percentage like this. And then shape out, so I need to reference this. It always starts out weird. Something that I like to do, something I like about sculpting simple stylized characters is that you can have very good practice. I'm trying to put my face closer to the screen, but the sun is so intense. It feels like it's burning my eyes. But let me see, rotate this a bit. Let's make it a little bit less weird for now. Is that it trains me to be like, remember last time encountering those like sculpting academy with like real clay and all that, and then I don't remember what video it was so many years ago, but I remember how they talked about like to practice sculpting, like practice doing the primitive shapes, so like sculpting a clay cylinder or a clay sphere, so like practice these primitive shapes. And then when I was doing the Pachako, the dog sculpt, I really felt it of like, oh, I'm practicing those primitive shapes. Yes, it's quite cool. Like, it's quite cool how much you can learn from those kind of things, instead of like doing super yeah, so I'm using the hair for the ear. Look at this. Suddenly it's an ear. I know that it's flatter on one side, but I'll just shape out the overall ear first. Actually, I want this to be mirrored instead. Where's it? That's weird. It should rotate Oh yes, okay. It's rotating. Yeah, there's much to learn in doing stylized sculpts. Even if your what's that? Even if your main sculpting drawer is doing super detailed things. I think this helps me refine certain techniques on how to create things. So when I first started out doing the sculpt for the other birthday card, I wasn't using symmetry planes, and it was just quite difficult to create like a nice round shape. So like without the symmetry planes, then you have to do this and then do that and then do this. So instead of doing that, I was like, oh, maybe I can just use symmetry planes to help. And because like I made a tutorial about symmetry, then it kind of just reinforces my understanding of like the lessons that I taught in that symmetry video. Let's just paint this yellow first, just so that I see like instantly she looks a little bit more like Hello Kitty. I think this is too yellow. I guess the nose has quite... Oh, the nose is so far out. I feel like the eyes are not correct, because Pochacho's face is quite flat, whereas Hello Kitty's one is quite curved, like a spear. So I'm going to, and I have subdivision for this, so I'm going to lower down the subdivision just to make it easier to shape the eyes. Can make it go in like a cat ear, like this. And I want to create this. Just thinking. I guess I'll just create a new spear. And then create a mirror for this, but then take the spear out because I want to mirror the side edges here. So, oh, and then I'll just group this, and I can even clone this up, put it at the side, and validate them. It's so big right now. And then the same thing, use symmetry planes if I can. Make sure that the symmetry planes are local. Do I need the symmetry plane? Maybe the Z plane? No, I don't want the Z plane. Oh wait. I want the Y plane and the Z plane. So I want to create that bow shape. So using the Y and the Z plane, it's easy to very quickly make this kind of shape. Because like the symmetry planes is for this axis and this axis. Especially for cute stuff. This is too bright. Especially for cute stuff, usually why they're cute is because, I mean, for simple stylized characters, of course there's cute stuff that's like really skinny, but normally there's just like a chunky, what's that, proportion, like this. Anyway, isn't this so cute? I like this Hello Kitty kit a lot. Because of this, like I just want it because of this one. So it's going to be quite thick, and because of that, it's very safe to have a z-axis symmetry. Then that way you'll sculpt the backside too, and then there's just a lot of work finished for you. So this one can also use the gizmo tool to squeeze the shape like this. And also just take your time to do the shapes properly. But this one, I'll just I guess so I'll just instance this, keep the instance, and this way I can increase the size of this. Increase the size of this, but when I sculpt the both of them, they're still connected to one another. And this is why the gizmo tool doesn't affect the instance object, because it's for stuff like this. Then I can rotate this a bit. I guess I'm not really sure that this is too white. Is she there though? If she's there, then no. So I was talking about making some decisions. think her eyes are quite straight on. So I'll just put the eyes straight on and then adjust the rest of the head based on. I think there's something else to learn from like simple stylized characters. Just the very subtle proportions is really hard. Like it's also difficult for me. I was also teaching, at one point I was teaching my nephew and nieces about like how just doing a little bit of tweak, like let's say if I just shift the eyes a little bit closer together, you can see like suddenly it's not Hello Kitty anymore. Like it really matters like where things are. And it is difficult. I think people usually would feel like these simple characters are going to be easy because it's like, oh, it's just like 2 ovals for the eyes and 1 oval for the nose, but it's so easy to mess it up. I think I'm also messing it up by making the eyes too big. I'm also looking at the negative shapes. And use reference whenever you can. Also, let's give this a color. You know, it looks quite freaky. Fix this. Let me see the head group. Let's put this together with the head so that I can scale this up properly. I feel like it's still a bit off, but just fix as I go. Let me reference the other image too. So the eyes are a bit less round. Then Hello Kitty has a thumb, so I can do this at where the symmetry plane is, like just to create that. Oops. Because I think I like the shape of this oval, so I can disable this, or maybe do this like that. But then if she's doing a ballerina dance, you know what, I just disable it. And then the tail has to be all white, and it's quite round. I think I took like total of 3 hours on the dog sculpt. So I think because I'm reusing a lot of assets, it's going to take a lot shorter to do Hello Kitty. So I'm going to make this a bit, because like the proportion is quite a lot rounder like this. Make this smaller, I guess. Actually, I don't want the limbs to be smaller, so I'm going to just adjust the inner side. Maybe I'll make this a bit bigger. Just a bit too high. Maybe this one's too out. Maybe like this. And not sure whether I want it to be brown. Like, do I even want to have like a eye highlights like the other one? This one. This one looks more modern, I guess. I just noticed that her arm is more human-like. I guess it makes sense. I want to do her whiskers, and because it's kind of like around the same color as this, I'll just grab this. Super easy. Just you just switch off symmetry for a while. something like this, and then let's instance this, and I guess set the pivot to the end like that. And then instance this again. I guess it's actually quite high up, so put it up there maybe. I wish that there's a way to put like more than one image for this. So I'm just going to make it like fan out like that, just to make it more. Should I put it up here or put it? And then I'll make it curve a bit more. I'll inflate the end so that's not so sharp. And maybe just push this in a bit so that it looks softer like that. And I guess the upper one is longer. You can see like how much you can learn just doing these kind of simple stuff. Because like the minor proportions really matter for these kind of things. I'm not really sure whether I want it to be black or like brown too. Flatten the nose part. And then body's too far back. Make sure that the overall body is aligned with the center of the world. You're not really sure about the side view. Maybe a bit incorrect. I think at this point I can start doing the asymmetry on the back and the front side. So the back is bigger, like fuller at the back, and then it curves in like this at the bottom side. I'm still using very low topology because I want to make sure that the shapes are correct. Maybe it's supposed to be round. I don't know. Like, it's quite difficult. And then I would like to have a ballerina color. I'm not sure about white because Hello Kitty is already quite white. So maybe I'll do a shade of pink. Like a baby pink. Like, I think that's a cute color. Not sure whether I want it to reflect on this too. Let me check against the base. So let's move you up a bit. I'm not sure why the pivot point is all the way here. But I don't know what happened to that. Oh, suddenly the bread is here. Okay, let me move you to the side. Not sure whether Hello Kitty is kind of like small compared to the stage. If you haven't done simple stylized characters, I highly recommend trying them. There's a lot of things to learn too. Oh shit, this tail should be together with the body. And I guess I want this to do a ballerina pose. Because I want to do a ballerina pose, I guess this torso has to kind of like oh my god, why is my throat so itchy? It's so annoying. Referencing the ballerina pose. So this hand goes down, this hand also goes up, this leg. Is Hello Kitty capable of doing this? Maybe. Yeah, and then see whether or not it feels balanced like that. Sometimes it's good to do a turntable. Actually, I'm not really sure whether. So maybe. Maybe I want the left leg, right leg to be in front. So I think that is a good center of gravity. And then I was thinking about like how the ribbon is up here, so maybe I want this leg to be in front. Just not really sure. I guess either way is fine. I don't really know which way is better. Sometimes I like to do turntables just to feel the center of gravity of the sculpt. So maybe I like the tilt of the body now. I don't know whether I need to like rotate it a bit to this and then do this maybe, and then this one. Maybe rotate it this angle like that, and then the tail, I don't know what to do with the tail. I guess the tail will be high up since the body is tilting up like that. It might be nice to exaggerate the... Wait, why is this not... Maybe it might be nice to kind of like exaggerate the crease a bit. I don't really know yet. Maybe not. And then inflate the butt a bit. Then, because it's a ballerina, have to add the skirt. Maybe I'll just let me just grab the head and then mirror it again. And have this like a subtle curve to it. Why is it so square? Something I learned because my friends, they were in dance, and once in a while I will like bump into the ballet teacher, and let's see, auto. I don't want this to be let me just object center. It's looking quite cute. And something that I learned, which I remember till this day, is as ballet dancers, is really important to like dance with the tips of the fingers in mind. So like when you're dancing, you're not just like dancing like that. Like you have to like consciously you have to be conscious of like what your fingertips are doing too. And that's why you can see like their expression like extends out like that. Hello, some user. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's go. Starting to be cute. I think that was the first time when like I was just a kid, and that was the first time when I'm like, oh wow, like you have to kind of like think of like every single part of your body when you're dancing. And that's also what makes it look so pretty, because they're not just like just doing like some sloppy stuff with your hands. Like everything's intentional. Not really sure if this is a nice proportion. I like how there's this curve on the torso like this. I think helps to create like some intentional flow to the body. Then this one, I feel like it just has to be rounded or something. So this one goes down. You know, maybe this one goes up. Limited by the size of the head. And then let me see, 3/4 backwards, because remember that this is a 3D scene. Then this one, I guess this one goes forward. And then just make sure that her shoulders are kind of aligned, because I don't want her shoulders to be dislocated. So a lot of the like time that I spend is just on doing these really minor adjustments because they are really important. Then I think that looks pretty alright. Maybe the base is too big now. Or maybe Hello Kitty is too small. Let me just change this. Hello Kitty. Just choosing a size that looks good with this bread here. Maybe the body can even go like way smaller. And I want to have like a nice curvature to her arm. So I need to disable this axis symmetry plane so that I can push it a bit this way, like this. And I guess this one I'll just rotate this so that the curve is the one following the curve of the head upwards. Not sure that I want her to look upwards too. Maybe that might be nicer like this. And then maybe I should just cap the other birds because all their poses are different. Oh, but then ballet is like more strict. So maybe all the birds will be doing like a marching pose, like more standard instead of like doing random things. Let me get the other reference. the roundness of the body is really important, like that. Then now I want to think about the lighting situation. As I was thinking, maybe it might be nicer if it's more like a spotlight on her, I think. So let's see what happens if, like, let's just remove this first. It's too bright. And then turn off the grid for now. Let me see. Because like it's a performance usually. Then I have these lighting, which I think is nice. So I just keep it. Where's this one? But I think for this piece, maybe I'll change this to I'll change this to a spotlight. So using the basic principles of lighting, you want the key light to be a bit diagonal like that. So you can use the green one to direct the like point it to the mesh. I guess that's not a bad direction. So like it creates this nice shadow at the 3/4 angle over here. So I'm quite happy with this. Let's just see, like, if I make it more intense. Maybe I tone down this a bit. Something like this. And then adjust the diameter of the light. And I think that's quite good. I'll just make her look up so that she looks like she's enjoying this pose. Like that. And then I'm not sure that she should like tilt a bit. Yeah, I think she should. Just not sure, like tilt to the left or tilt to the right. So like this one or this one. I don't know. Let me just tilt to the right a bit. And then this one's not too bad, but maybe I'll add one more. I mean, this would look nice. Oh, just like something quite different. I think that's too much. Maybe something like this. Then for the centerpiece, I want it to be like a darker color, I think. Or maybe like a maybe something more metallic. I think this one should be more metallic too. And then I'll clone this because I want the material to be different. This is a good way to create a lot of details, like just duplicating simple objects like this and like creating different sizes and all that stuff. And then when I think about it, this should be instance. And then this one will be used for creating maybe a blue floor that is not really metallic, like a dark blue floor like this. Not sure that I want it to be reflective. I don't know whether I want to use the reflection. Like maybe I'll just paint in the reflection for this. I think I'll make this a bit more like that, so that they can walk along this. I think that would be cute. So let's put you into position first. With a slight upturn like this. And then the idea would be that they'll be alternating as the number goes around. I think I'll do how many? Well, it doesn't matter. Like, I can just use I'll use a repeater for this. So I'll take this base because I want the pivot point for this base, and then I'll add using the on gizmo and use radial. So if I do this, so let's bring this up here, then I can just suddenly like create a bunch of them. I think that's so cute. And I think I'll do 3 of, no, actually I don't need to do like, I don't need to do different poses for them because I think they look quite cute like this. Let's see how it looks like. And it's so cute. So I really like to use repeaters. So let's do something like this. I think that's good. You can see that because the repeater is at the center of the disc. So when I'm repeating the birds, they are aligned to the diameter of the floor disc. So I think I can like start refining this now, because I think the overall proportions are not too bad. And then if let's put the environment too. So I like to do the environment separately after the lighting is settled. Maybe I'll choose some. I'll choose the lighting. That has like a gradient in the center of this. Maybe this one, because I like the darkness here and the brightness in this side, although it's not really that visible on the screen right now. And then bring down the exposure so that the lighting is more intentional. I don't think I can show this on screen because it's just gonna overexpose everything else. But it's looking quite cute, like quite fast. Then I will I'll start fixing the low poly mesh. Just using a higher dynamic topology percentage and just going at it like this, then sharpening the ears a bit, sharpening the corners of the ear, and then smooth it out because the sharpness needs to be subtle. I think that's also a good learning point with doing cute characters, is that I think it taught me how to be more subtle with plane changes, and you just don't go overboard with like high contrast sharp details. Because I think that's what quite a lot of sculpts struggle with, like finding the balance between like high detailed sharpness versus yeah, I'm not sure, high detailed. Okay. Sometimes you can use the crease tool with a really large, like a super large diameter, to do a soft diffuse sharpness. And this one's the same. But I think I will maybe I just sculpt in this. Create the flatness of the ribbon center like this. I mean, for one thing, this is a birthday, like a birthday card, so I'm not putting in like an intense amount of effort. Like this is still pretty simple to me, just because of all the practice I have with all the harder stuff. And the main thing is just to like learn how to be more efficient in certain things for me. And I'll use multi-resolution whenever I can. So this one, I think, can go upwards. This one, okay, it's a bit sharp on the edge, so I have to be quite careful. Make sure that it's quite round on all edges, like that. Then I guess I want to do detailing. Okay, let's fix this first. And the feet is quite flat at the bottom like this. So I use the flatten brush to flatten this oval area here. I guess that is enough. Make sure that the feet is in contact with the bottom part like that. Then change, like fix the negative shapes of things like the intersection of the arms. I guess it should go down just to be prettier. And then this one is a bit I don't really know what to do with this. I'm going to use this. I hope it still works. So I'm going to use the radial, and then because I want to like this is a stylized simple sculpt, right? So I don't want the frills to be too much, even though I know like it's kind of more like this. So just like a really subtle, so like around radial 10 is not too bad, I think. Then adjust. I'm always correcting the positions of all these things, because it's a lot easier to, like I mentioned this a lot of times, but it's a lot easier to like finalize the positions and all that stuff in relative to one another. So, and it's a lot faster to do. Let me see the size. It's a lot faster to like finalize the placement and all that stuff too. You make it a bit rounder. And then let me adjust the body relative to the feet. So let me finalize this shape too. Make sure that even the hidden parts are round and not too like static. I think this, I'm not sure whether this looks a bit weird. I guess it doesn't really matter. Maybe I just bring this forward a bit. And then I'm not sure whether I want to put a crown on her. Should I? So I'm going to do the head, and like just remember to rename everything. Just to make it look more elegant. Make sure that the make sure that the curves are nice from all angles. I still don't really know what I want the design to be like. I'm kind of just matching it to my niece's performance outfit, but it's really like zoomed out. I can't really see what the crown looks like, so maybe I'll just do it off stream, but I'll choose the same color for this, maybe. Actually, maybe I should be I guess I'll just split it up later on, or maybe I will just do this. And maybe add more details later. Or maybe I really should split this up. Where's the head? So I'm going to create a mirror for the head. Create a mirror. And then use this mirror to I can split this one too. And trim it too. And then I'll just fix the... I'm just doing everything on the fly, so I'll need to adjust the symmetry and all this stuff like this. Then this one I think is fine. I'll clean it up after the stream because I have to go soon. But the idea is that, like, I don't know, it still looks a bit weird, but because it's two, then this one just set a different material. I'm not sure. Did I set a different material? What material is this supposed to be? I guess a bit of metalness for a sheen. Do I? Maybe like this. And I can even duplicate this. And set this to like a whiter color. I have no idea. But I have to go soon anyway, so let's just quickly get some details in. Like that. And then maybe do some painting. Yeah, almost done, almost done. Or maybe use a pink. To go. Okay, that's cute. And that is, I think I just slap the happy birthday. Just like put this somewhere later on. Maybe where did I put this? Oh no. Maybe like this? I have to write her name later. But this is just like the idea of it, I think. Or maybe it goes around, I think. Okay, I'll just make it go around later on. And this is it. Thank you for tuning in to this simple live stream. It's really bright, but when it reaches the other side, it will make more sense. I'll see you. Thanks, Kaltura and some user for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one.